Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 3 of How to Hockey Card. In today's episode, we're going to go over finding the value of your cards in a more of a walkthrough format, so you can kind of see the flow that I go through to find the value of my cards, and also just kind of like where I buy cards, where I sell cards. Again, I covered some of that in the last episode. If you missed that, there'll be a link in the description below, as well as an annotation somewhere on the screen for you to go and check it out. It's just an introductory Q&A where I posted a question on Twitter asking what questions people had that were new to the hobby or just needed to know about hockey cards and stuff like that. So I answered a bunch of them there, and then also there's one from that I left unanswered, which was whether or not to grade a card, and that'll actually be the next episode after this, but I figured it would be a good idea to cover this video first because, well, finding the value of your card actually plays into finding out whether or not you should get your card graded. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. And first off, we're going to need to start with, a card, because we're going to need to have a price, like a card to look up to find the value of it. So let's use our handy dandy example here of our Troy Terry Black Lustrous rookie here. It's a little bit glary, sorry off the reflection there. So we have a few things that we need to note about this card. First off, player name, very important. If you don't have the player name, it's going to be hard to find the exact player that you want to look up. Second thing is that this card has a serial number. So it's out of 299. And this is actually very important because you can find out the exact card that you need to know. As we flip it onto the back, we have a few things that we need to note as well. So you have your set kind of like identifier. So kind of, what the card number in the set is. So this is LR-TT. So Lustrous Rookies Troy Terry is what that stands for. And at the bottom down here, you have the set name, as if we can focus on it. You can kind of see it. There you go. So 2018-19 UD Black. Now this card actually came out of SPX as well, so you might get some cross listings there, but generally speaking, people will list it as Upper Deck Black. So let's go and let's find the price of this card. So switch on over to our monitor here, and let's hide my green screen there so you can actually see stuff more. And let's just find the card. So on eBay, it's fairly simple. If you've never used it before, you've got your basic search. If you've already logged in, you've got items on your watch list. You've got your recently viewed items, just stuff like that. So generally, you really won't need to go past these. But yeah, so again, let's look this up. So the set number, how I generally search cards is I go set number, or set name, so 2018-19 UD Black, and then you type in the player name. If it's like a really common player name, you want to type in both like first name and last name. So for example, if you're looking for like JT Brown or Connor Brown or Dustin Brown, like typing in Brown, if they're all in the set, will get you all three. So you'd want to include the first name. Here, there aren't a ton of Terrys, so we're probably okay typing in Terry. But for the sake of this, we'll go with Troy Terry. And then we're going to go out of 299 because that's what the card's out of. So we hit enter here, and this is what we're left with. So we've got actually the SPX, the UD Black Lustrous Rookies, LR-TT Troy Terry, Anaheim Ducks RC out of 299. So we've got one listing up. However, it's listed at $8, $9, and you can't really tell, if no one's bought this yet, that probably means it doesn't sell for that. So the best way to find out what something sold for is to go to the eBay Advanced Search, which you just click this Advanced button right here. And you go to completed listings or sold listings. I'll use completed listings for now. And again, nothing shows up here. So let's take out the UD and let's put in Troy Terry here. And let's see if we get more results. So we actually don't have more results here, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually pretty good because it means that we don't have the listings that we want. Or it's going to require another tool to find this out, which is good. What we do see here is we see the patch version of this card that's out of 65 sold for $15.50. And so let's go ahead and let's just try one more thing. It was Lustrous Rookies -TT. And then see if we can get more results. So we get some more results here, but nothing that actually matches what we're looking for. And again, this isn't a problem. This is actually perfectly fine. Generally, sometimes you won't find stuff, but when we go back to here, we'll find some more listings. These are autographed ones. They're not numbered. And yeah, so the only one that's listed like ours is this one at $9. So Is that actually what the card sells for? Probably not when the patch out of 65 sold for 16. So we'll have to go and use another site. So this site shows you more like longer duration completed listings. I think eBay actually only stores up to the past 3 months of completed listings, whereas this site, sportscard.com, will actually show some longer duration. So again, you're going to enter in the exact same kind of key phrases here. You actually want to include the first name here because, this goes through the entire like glossary of just of like all the completed sports card listings in eBay. So 2018-19 Troy Terry black out of $299, and hit enter, and we'll see what it pops up with. It can take a while to load. Again, keep in mind that it is searching through a lot of listings. There can be a lot of searches going on this site, so it can take a while to load, but trust me, this tool is absolutely worth it because you can actually find out some really important things, like for example, like what cards sold for, if they were buy now or best offer. Because if we hop back to eBay here, let's type in something like McDavid Cup rookie, and then go advanced completed listings, and so we'll take in like this best offer one here. So as you can tell, like is a best offer that was accepted, but it shows 2,500 was at the actual sale price. But we'll have to come back and go into this. But anyways, we're back to the Troy Terry search. So again, this kind of gave us everything that we already knew about the card. We're getting a lot of duplicate stuff because in Black Diamond there's an exquisite collection which actually had this card that was numbered out of 299. It is a different card, but yeah. So we'll have to go. We can refine the listings a little bit more by going to sold rather than active, and then we can go into LR-TT, and that'll probably give us like our general speaking, like our most dedicated search here. So while we're doing that, let's actually open up a new browser and let's go to Beckett, because the second way to find a value is book value. Again, I don't really recommend book value for selling a lot of the time, just because stuff can kind of fluctuate a lot. So let's go ahead and let's go into it is 2018-19 Troy Terry Black Lustrous Rookies. And again, this requires actually like a paid subscription. So on here you can actually see, this is the exact card, LRTT Troy Terry, print run $299, and then the low and high price. Generally speaking, your cards are always going to be in this kind of like high price range. The high price just generally means it's in a good shape. So we can see the book value or BV of this card is 1061 Canadian, which is what, like $9 US, something like that. We'll see, $8 US. So again, this requires a subscription. I forget how much it is a month, but if you do a lot of sports cards buying and selling, this is actually not the worst investment to make. If you're new to it, generally hold off, just because you probably won't get your value out of it. So we actually didn't get any completed listings here, which is kind of funny because normally that would show it. But Black Lustrous. That's actually really funny because normally you can find stuff. There we go. So we have some stuff here. Do we have any base rookies lower down? So like we have like the plain jersey card sold for $5. So that's actually a good indicator for us whether or not like how much it'll go for. And it doesn't look like too many of these have actually sold. And this isn't actually a problem. It gives you a general idea of what it goes for. Keep in mind all the prices on this site are in US dollars, so you do have to do a little bit of a conversion. But right now, looking at all these, given that the card's numbered out of $299, I'd say we're probably looking at $3 to $4 US. So generally speaking, like that's where I'd generally start with listing the card at. I'd start at about the $3 to $4 US price range, and if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, you can lower it down. But you always kind of want to start a little bit on your like higher side of what you want to get, especially if you're running an auction, or if you're running buy now for sure. An auction, people can bid on it, but yeah, honestly, like this isn't the end of the world. You do get a general price range. It may not be the exact card, but you do know more or less what it goes for. So let's actually use the Connor McDavid example. So we have 2018-19 Upper Deck the Cup, Connor McDavid, Tribute Rookie Patch Auto. So let's go Connor McDavid, Tribute Rookie Patch Auto, and then 2018-19. Like say you pulled one of these or you bought one of these or something like that. Or you just want to find out what this one sold for because you want to buy one yourself if you've got, you know, that cash money flowing around. So again, we're going to search through here. And what it's going to do is it's, again, going to do the same thing. It's going to go through all the listings. And you'll notice, again, that there is a sold for mark of 2,500 Canadian, which is, I forget exactly how much it is. So it doesn't look like some of them are showing up right now. That's actually kind of funny. Of course, when I go to go to the video here, it doesn't want to show up. But Connor McDavid, Tribute Rookie Patch Auto. Let's get rid of this and let's just go with Connor McDavid Tribute Rookie Patch Auto here. And let's see if this will actually pull it up. This should, but again, it can take a couple searches to actually find out the exact card that you want here. Okay, so we've got some more here. I definitely think, so here we go. So I believe this was actually the exact one. It doesn't have the sold date. Let's see. Is this the same one? It looks like it, so you can look at the listing here. So it's 3 of 10. This one is 3 of 10. So you'll see again that it sold for, it says it sold for 2,500, but that's because it was a best offer accepted. So we're gonna go ahead and go back here and you can actually see what the offer accepted was. So this $1,880 price was actually the fixed price point. So this was a 2,500 and it actually went for 1,100 US, which again is still a lot of money, but you actually know that someone didn't pay the full price for it. They actually took less than it. So just in case you wanted to buy that card, you know the card didn't sell for that much. It actually sold for this much, and it's really helpful in finding out, you know, kind of that last price sold. So let's go ahead and let's try to find like a general card here. So say I wanted to go through and buy, I don't know, let's go with a Quinn Hughes Young Guns. So Quinn Hughes Young Guns is what I want to buy right now. I like the player. He's very good. And so we'll go ahead and we'll look at kind of, you know, what they're going for. So these are kind of all the auctions and stuff. Generally speaking, if you're looking at an auction, ending soonest can get you the listings ending soonest, which is pretty straightforward there, but it is very important to note. Also very important to note with Young Guns to make sure you look out for oversized, because if they are oversized, they are lower valued. But so let's say I wanted to buy one of these and I wanted to check out like how much they were going for. Because it's a more popular card, it's a recently released set, we can go to sold listings and then we're going to see kind of, you know, what they sold for down here. So $45 on a buy now, 3 went for $146, oversized went for $18, a graded 9.5 one went for $159, and then so as we continue to scroll down here, so this one went for $35, but it's got $19 shipping. So again, people are probably factoring that shipping cost in with purchasing it. Again, same with this one. This one went for $43. So it generally looks like the $45 price range would be like, you can find them for that. Basically with shipping, this one went for $51. So sometimes there's bidding wars that they can go higher than, but you're looking in that. And again, this one is $60. So there's a lot of fluctuation, especially with the new crop, but you're looking in that $40 to $50 range here. So when I wanted to go and buy one, I'd go back, I'd knock off the sold listing, just click the little X there. And so we're seeing about $50 here, which seems a little bit on the higher side of what they sold for recently. But Quinn Hughes has been playing a lot better and he's been getting more media mentions, so his price is probably going to go up over the next little bit here. So we can kind of scroll through, see if there's anything here that we actually want to go ahead and purchase. And there's really nothing with a buy now that we want to go and get. So or with like an all listings here. So let's go newly listed and buy now. And here again, you can actually see $45.75 with $10 worth of shipping, which looks like it's a pretty good deal, just based off everything that we've seen here. You can also use filters on the side to go like price. So we can put our price at $55 because we don't want to pay more than that on this card. Again, we have 52 with $3 shipping. So when we go back to the auctions here, we're actually going to see that it is that like we're actually in the perfect spot here, because this one is ending at about $50 with $232 in shipping. So it's got 14 minutes left. It's probably going to go a little bit higher if we actually wanted to bid on it, but because we don't want to bid on it, we actually like this one is generally going to net us the same cost. It's about pretty much exact same after shipping. The shipping does kind of suck, but again, it's probably because it's located in the States, and they're shipping from the States to Canada is pretty expensive. Shipping from Canada to the States can cost a little bit more. So just something to keep an eye on is that location can actually kind of vary the price a little bit. But yeah, so if we wanted to buy it, we'd hit buy it now. I don't want to buy it right now just because I think he'll probably drop a little bit in the summer. Young guns normally go up, and then kind of when the summer hits, they go back down, and then once hockey season resumes, the players will go back up a little bit just because the product's been out there for a while and kind of the hype dies down and then the hype builds back up. We saw that with Pedersen last year where he started off at about, I think he started off at about 70 or 80 or so, maybe even 60. And then he went up to about as high as 100-ish, 110, and then he dropped down all the way to 60 even after he won Rookie of the Year, and then he's back up to about the 80 to 90 to 100 range. So just something to keep in mind is that, the peak times for hockey cards can be more expensive. The more relevant of the period for the player, the more expensive the card can be. So some stuff to keep in mind there. But yeah, that's pretty much how I go through buying, selling, and stuff like that. The other site I wanted to show was Comm here. So let's check out mycards.com. And this is just a giant site where you can actually like find a whole bunch of things here. So say we wanted to find a Quinn Hughes Young Guns on here. You can list, but listing is a little bit different. And again, all the prices here are in US dollars. I don't know if it's actually configurable, but if you sign in, the trick here is to make an account here, and then you can go back to Comm here and Quinn Hughes Young Guns. And you have 33.20. So if you want to do the exchange rate on that, it is 33.20 USD to CAD, and it's about $44. So that's actually cheaper than what it's going for on eBay, which means that this is actually probably your better buy between the two, or it's about the same on eBay. It's about the same on eBay. So it's generally speaking, it's a better buy through here. So if you actually do want to buy it, going through here might make more sense. And it's just something to keep in mind again, because as stuff fluctuates, sometimes the prices on here will be cheaper, sometimes the prices on eBay will be cheaper, and it's just worth kind of navigating both sites. But these are the main two sites I would use. That's really about it. So a quick recap for finding the value of a card on eBay is that you type in the card name. So let's go again with Quinn Hughes Young Guns. And then we go into advanced, and then you can either do completed listings, which will show you every listing that has ended, or you can do sold listings, which will only show you the sold listings, and you can kind of just get a gauge of the price. So 45 with $3 shipping, again, is $48. The Comm one will be about the exact same as that, so that's a good price for it. It's a fair market value of the card. You can tell they're not selling for 92. This one didn't sell for 53, and so you can kind of go through, get a general sense of what they went for. Again, keep in mind what the cost of shipping is, because that can actually heavily factor into the price. So $20 shipping here means it probably knocked about $10-15 off the card price. So just something to keep in mind. Again, shipping is really just, it comes down to where you're located a lot of times, and again, shipping from the US to Canada can be decently expensive. If you live close to the border and you have a place called Ship Happens or something across the border and you can get to it, sometimes they can hold your packages for less money, so you can save a few bucks that way. It's especially helpful in very big purchases. But it's just a lot of little things to keep in mind. Again, if you're listing a card, make sure you include as many details about it as you can. This is generally what I would call a very good listing. The one thing I would do is I would make sure I put Quinn Hughes earlier. So if you're listing a card, you kind of just want to go through and see what the higher ones went for. So again, this one I think has the best overall listing for it, just because it's 2019-20, so it has the year. Upper Deck, Quinn Hughes, Young Gun. It's better to have the name a little bit earlier than later, just because people can see it quicker. The only thing I would add here is rookie or RC onto the end of it, just to really make sure it hits all those keywords. And again, that's pretty much all you need to know about buying, selling, and finding the value of sports cards. Anyways, hopefully this helps you. If you have any questions, let me know. Be on the lookout for the whether to grade or not to grade episode that should be coming out hopefully this weekend. And as always, take it easy. I'll catch you guys on the flop side. Peace.